Hi, I'm delighted to be here and I guess talk about women in leadership at this Nirmaan event. I think where I want to start is actually a discussion around my own team. When I joined VMware about 4.5 years ago, on my first day actually, I walked around to the next office where Pam, my CMO, was based, and I asked her for an organisation chart. So she hands me an organisation chart. And I looked down at the organisation chart and I realised, Pam, you're the only woman in my leadership team out of 22. And, you know, I guess having been part of supporting women in leadership roles, I was actually both genuinely surprised and realised I had a lot of work to do. Well, I'm happy to say today I have 8 of the 22 women in my leadership team. And it's been part of a journey, I guess, for me to help bring women in, to help change the way my team operates, to operate more collaboratively and to operate differently. More than anything, to be able to innovate faster and grow this business. And we have, we've doubled our business over the last 4 years. But as part of that, I guess there's a couple of interesting things that have happened. And I'd just like to give you a little bit of insight. Today, my CHRO, my CMO, my Chief Financial Officer, and my COO are all women. And I sometimes jokingly say all the money is controlled through this group of 4 women. But actually, it's a really tight-knit collaborative unit that helps me lead this business of over 3,000 people across Asia Pacific and Japan. And there's another small story I'd like to share with you, which is one of the interesting things we found during COVID. We've seen not only, I guess, the work we need to do in the executive level to change the balance in leadership roles, we actually found something interesting happen this year. In Japan, we've always had this challenge around women being a minority. And so that pressure in a room when you're a minority has been really hard to overcome. So I have a good news story. This year, we did virtual graduate intake. And when we did virtual graduate intake, we had 45% of the graduates who turned up as part of that process were women. And we've hired 45% of our graduate intake in Japan this year as women. So actually, the world today is providing great new opportunities for women to come into organisation as graduate and then progress through the organisation. But it takes work. So, part of my role as a leader is to help that process change and operate. And so we run, for example, a diversity management system where I not only review every region in every quarter around what progress they've made, but I also look at it by level and look at it in terms of hiring, promotion, and unfortunately, those who leave us. And it's interesting. By doing that, we've now started to uncover things like where we are losing women through the process because we haven't done enough to support them in their career journey, or they've taken time out to go and pursue either other career options, family, or supporting elderly parents. So we've seen all sorts of, I guess, different reasons why we weren't able to retain women. But by running a tight diversity management system, it started to uncover from the data some significant trends, which enables us as a leadership team to take action and to do some things differently, or to reach out and understand earlier in the process what pressures are under for women leaders across our organisation. So I think this is really important because I think the challenge for leaders like me or leaders like yourselves is around how to support an environment that enables women to flourish, to learn, to be part of the innovation or the change of organisations to help take the organisation to another level. I definitely credit part of our growth over the last 4.5 years to changing the diversity of my team, because it changed the nature of the way the team operated. But I've got to stay constantly vigilant around, am I supplying the right environment? Am I creating the right moments to enable people to engage or voice concerns or where they have a challenge in the leadership role they're in? The IT industry's still got a long way to go. Overall, across the world, it's about 23% of the leadership roles is made up by women. Some good news for you though, there is this concept of tipping point, which says once it starts to get above 25%, you start to overcome some of those issues around being a minority. And so we're constantly vigilant around how to manage that. And I'm seeing across my peers in the marketplace also them leaning in to make a difference and to be much more conscious around how to lead and how to have the right environment, the right recruitment, and the right engagement on an ongoing basis to create a diverse team that would add more value. Now, VMware, by the way, has recently made a commitment that we will get to half our workforce being women in leadership roles by 2030. So most organisations are making some progress. We've committed to be a leader in that globally and invest and develop talent to help women accelerate in leadership roles around the world. So I'm really looking forward to being part of that and all the additional initiatives that come out of it. There is one I want to personally talk about, which is the TARA program. So here in India, and I'll let the team put up the chart, we actually started an initiative 2 years ago. We announced actually 2 years in November just gone. A program that would help women return to work. Now, a little bit of history on this one. I happened to be doing a Women in Technology session in Bangalore. And as part of that, we had about 250 women, and I was on the panel. And lots of questions for about an hour and a half. But inside that, I felt really challenged at the time that we weren't doing enough to help women return to work. And that was a theme that bothered me. And actually on the way home in the plane at 2:30 in the morning, I started this sort of idea around what could we do as an organisation to make a difference. So we started this program called TARA, and it just started with a simple concept that women needed in the IT industry to be current in terms of skills and be confident to return to the workforce. And we needed to help. So the simple principle says we would help with enablement, we would help with support and mentorship and engagement and an ability for women to ask questions. And I'm delighted to tell you we have over 8,500 women in the program. We have managed to track down, and we know over 259 women have directly got jobs back in the industry as a result of the program across 168 companies. So we don't actually do this for our own benefit. We actually do it for the industry benefit. And I know for India that the statement is if we can help women return to work in India, it will add $27 trillion to the Indian economy. So we're proud of this program, but actually what's been a massive learning experience over the time has been the way to engage in different segments, how to communicate out to enough people, how to engage and allow women to feel confident to actually step back into the workforce. And we're just a small part of that by helping them access training. So we're proud of it. We have a great group of companies that are partnering with us to help do that. We recently announced with NTT, we have the We Hub initiative out of the Telangana government, and really thankful for those of you that are on this call that have helped us. And it's a journey where we continue to learn around how to, I guess, access women and make them feel confident to come back and do education. So the TARA program, I guess for us, is part of us giving back as an organisation, which is something that we think is really important. But on top of that, I think one of the things I would like you to take away, I believe it's also important to take personal action. So over the last 10 years, I've personally engaged in mentoring women leaders through the organisation. Today, I have 8 different women leaders across multiple roles in our organisation that I personally mentor. And by mentoring, I try and create an environment that they can ask any question they like, anything. So that little voice that sits on your shoulder or in the back of your head that leaves them concerned around what they could do or what they should do, I try and provide an environment that's outside their line management, that they're able to come and ask someone who has lots of experience over many years and just give them advice and guidance. It's actually one of the most rewarding things as part of my role. And I urge all of you as leaders in our industry to look for people who can help you. Because genuinely having someone you can go and talk to in a trusted space, I believe makes a difference. It helps from a development viewpoint, it helps accelerate your career, or helps you in terms of being able to perform better in your current role. So I'm absolutely delighted you gave me the opportunity to speak today. I am incredibly positive around the progress around women in leadership and the potential to help organisations innovate faster and perform better. So if you have an opportunity to join us as part of the TARA program, we would welcome you. And that, more than anything, I'm just delighted to be part of this program. And you're talking to some great leaders like Harmeen coming up, who show what is possible in terms of being key business leaders across organisations. So with that, thank you again for the time, and I wish you a great conference. Thank you.